Good morning, students. Today we will discuss the second segment of French Revolution, the outbreak of the revolution. Before starting the segment, we will know about the some important date. And these date you will write in your copy because each date is important and it will be coming in your exam and questions are on that particular dates. Like first date 1774, Louis XVI became the king of France, faces empty treasure and growing discontent with society and old regime. This we read, and date particular, that is French Revolution date, it was 1789. The Convention of States General, Third Estate forms National Assembly, Bastille is formed, peasants revolt in the countryside. Means on that particular date which we read today, that the uh, disturbance or turmoil took place in France. Then another is of 1791, that constitution is framed to limit the powers of king and guaranteed basic rights to human being. Means when after revolt, new constitution was formed. In that the power of monarch was limited. Then 1792 and 93, it was the period when France became republic. Republic, you understand, when president is there, election system is there, and the king is beheaded. Beheaded means he was punished by the people. Will read in that segment, and overthrow the Jacobin club. Republic, a direct rule of France. Means at that time, one of the club, very famous club, Jacobin club, you can say it was famous, and the leader became the dictator of the country, and he was also overthrown. Another, that last one, 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte, he became the emperor of France and annexes his large kingdom, or you can say large part of Europe. He occupied the region by his own policies framed. Now 1815, Napoleon defeated Waterloo. At the Battle of Waterloo, means the story we'll discuss in the coming segments, what happened to Napoleon and what happened in the Waterloo battle. So these are the important dates you will write in your copy while starting the chapter. So the children who are watching the video, they will first start history writing and with this date only. Okay. Now we'll start the chapter. The outbreak of the revolution. Now, if you are taking interest in the chapter, definitely like a story, if you are learning this, understanding this will be easy for you. So, outbreak of the revolution, outbreak means start, how the revolution started. So, because we have discussed that king thought about to increase the taxes and wanted to impose over the people or the subjects or France people, but it was not easy because in France, a monarch was not having all the power, means equally, singly he could not impose, singly who could not pass any kind of rule that means people accepted. There was a system behind this. What was that system? Let's discuss. Louis XVI had to increase taxes for reasons you have learned in the previous section. How do you think he could have gone about during this? Means if he wanted to impose the tax over the people, how he had done this in France of the old regime. Means in older empire, what used to happen, the monarch did not have the power to impose taxes according to his alone will. Means according alonely means singly he could not take any decision, rather he had to call the meeting of the estates generals. So for this, he had to plan estates generals, first estate, second estate, third estate. If you remember, we read there. So there was general of each state, means he had to call those generals in front of him, which would then pass his proposals for a new taxes. Means the meeting took place, then proposal is passed, and after that it has to be The decision has to be taken. And Estates General was political body. Political body, like political, understand, they were like a politician as today we have in our country or in government system. So they were the political body to which the three estates sent their representative. Means through this political body, they sent their representatives, means leaders, elected leaders. There was election system earlier, but you will see how kind of system was that. However, the monarch alone could decide when to call this meeting, this body of this body. This much of was having the power. The date was decided by the monarch only, the king only. The last time it was done, that was in 1614. Now see the time. What is the time now? We are discussing 1774, or revolution is about to held in 1789, more than 100 years. So means this had happened earlier in 1614, and after that the decision has been taken by the king now that some meeting should take place in the court. So for 5th May 1789, now the time of revolt, always you have to keep in mind, 14 July 1789. So this is prior, means 3 months before. What happens? Louis XVI together as assembly of the Estate General to pass proposal for few taxes. Means this has been done, this has been decided that the meeting with General State will take place at a resplendent hall in Versailles was prepared to host the delegates. Means for this, one of the splendid hall was prepared. Means बहुत आलीशान तरीके का एक hall तैयार किया गया. I'll send the video regarding this. You will have a better idea about how was the court was that, or the, you can say, hall was that. The first and the second estate represent 300 each. Means suppose this is particular hall and 300 delegates sitting this here. This is the seat of monarch, and 300 were sitting this side, 300 were sitting this side, and rest of, means 600 were sitting in front of the king. This was the structure of hall. So, resplendent hall Versailles prepared host of delegates, and this the first and second estate was 300 representative each, who were seated in the rows facing each other, as I told you in framing the, making the picture. This is each other they were facing. 300 were set. Then 600 people, members, third estate had to stand back. Means they had to stand back. They were standing there. 600 people. And third estate had to stand at the back, and the third estate was represented by its more prosperous and educated members. While, remember this line, very important, these 600 members of the state had to stand back, and third estate was represented its more prosperous education members, educated members. मतलब ये जो particularly group था, it was most educated, and the third estate was represented by more, sorry, again I'm reading, peasants, artisans, and women were denied to entry in the assembly. One main reason was that the people who reached in the court, they were only the educated people. Farmers, women, and other were not allowed to enter the court or in assembly. However, their grievances, means their problem, their you can say tensions, what they have, and their means उनकी जो परेशानियां थी वो सब उन्होंने क्या किया, they demanded were listed in 40,000 of letters which were representative had brought with them. Means these 40,000, they prepare 40,000 letters. Means the people who were reaching to the hall, they sent their applications with them. Means these people who 600, they took their application and reached in the assembly. Did you get this? I hope the picture is very much clear for you. Means the monarch is now ready to call the meeting. He is sitting in assembly. In assembly, 1200 members were invited. 600s were first and second state. Another 600s were of third estates, and these another 600 you can say went with the applications of common people. So in the next video we'll discuss. Till here we stop this.